Fish feel pain? The shocking truth that changed our view of the world seas. A thrilling introduction. Humans have always lived thinking that fish are silent creatures without feeling, and that hunting or harming them does not leave a real effect on them because they do not scream, cry, or show pain as wild animals do. But science in recent decades has turned this idea upside down and revealed a surprising and perhaps disturbing truth for some, which is that fish actually feel pain and perceives it and interacts with it in complex ways that go beyond mere instinctive reactions. This fact was not easy to accept because it touches on old human habits such as hunting, cooking, and scientific experiments. But the scientific evidence has become so strong that it cannot be ignored. Do fish really feel pain? Or is what we see just a reflexive movement without consciousness? The old roots of the wrong idea. For many years, the belief prevailed that pain requires a complex brain and a developed cerebral cortex, which are characteristics that many believe fish lack, so they were described as robotic creatures that move only by instinct. But this perception was based on an incomplete understanding of the nature of pain itself. What is pain scientifically? Pain is not just an unpleasant sensation, but a complex experience that includes receiving the nerve signal, processing it in the brain, and then responding behaviorally to it. Science has proven that the presence of a cerebral cortex, similar to that of humans, is not an essential condition for feeling pain. Pain receptors. Scientists have discovered that fish possess specialized nerve receptors known as pain receptors, which are the same receptors found in mammals and respond to high heat, extreme pressure, and harmful chemicals. Crucial scientific experiments. In famous experiments conducted on salmon and trout, they were exposed to mild, painful stimuli, and scientists observed clear changes in behavior, such as loss of appetite, irregular swimming, and rubbing the mouth or body on rocks, which are behaviors that cannot be explained as a simple reflex reaction. Pain changes long-term behavior. The most exciting thing is that the effect of pain was not only instantaneous but lasted for hours and sometimes days, as the fish avoided certain places associated with the painful experience, indicating the existence of a memory of pain. Painkillers and their effect. When fish were given painkillers, their behavior returned to normal, and this is strong evidence that what they suffered was not just an automatic reaction, but a real painful experience that was alleviated by medication. Do fish cry? Fish do not have vocal cords to cry, nor do they have clear facial expressions. But the absence of crying does not mean the absence of pain. Many creatures feel pain without making sounds that are understandable to us. Silent pain. Fish live in a relatively silent world and rely on subtle sensory signals, so their expression of pain is behavioral, not vocal. The nervous system of fish, despite its simplicity compared to mammals, the nervous system of fish is capable of processing complex information and making advanced behavioral decisions. The difference between reaction and pain. The reflex action occurs without consciousness, while pain is an experience that affects behavior, memory, and future choices. It has been proven that fish fall into the second category. Fish learn from pain. Learning from a painful experience is evidence of relative consciousness. The creature that does not feel pain does not learn to avoid it. Fish and psychological stress. Studies have shown that fish secrete stress hormones when exposed to harm, similar to those secreted by mammals. Fishing and the pain when fish are hooked by a hook is not just a random movement, but a real pain response accompanied by a conscious attempt to escape. Fish and slow slaughter. Leaving fish to die of suffocation outside the water causes them prolonged suffering because their nervous system remains active for a period after they leave the water. Fish and emotional intelligence. Some species of fish have shown complex social behaviors, such as cooperation and recognition of individuals, which reinforces the idea of a deeper inner life than we thought. Do all fish feel pain? The evidence indicates that the vast majority of bony fish feel pain, and perhaps the degree varies between species. Why does man deny that? Recognizing the pain of fish places man before a difficult moral responsibility that requires changing old practices. New scientific ethics. Because of these discoveries, some countries have begun to amend animal welfare laws to include fish. Cooking live under a microscope. Practices such as cooking fish while it is alive have become the subject of increasing scientific and ethical criticism. Fish are not just food. Our view of fish as insensitive creatures has made us treat them as objects. But science forces us to rethink. Does that mean refraining from hunting is not necessary, but it means reducing suffering and using more humane methods? Science does not attack habits, but corrects them. Knowledge does not aim to condemn the past, but to improve the future. changing the view of the aquatic world. When we realize that fish feel pain, the sea becomes a world teeming with sensation, not just a food store. The wonder of discovery. Every time we delve deeper into the study of marine creatures, we discover that the distance between us and them is less than we imagine. Humans and the shared pain. Pain is a universal language that does not need words, and creatures that we have never given the right to feel may share it. A moving conclusion. Fish feel pain. Yes, but they do not ask us for pity, but understanding and awareness. For when we respect the feelings of other creatures, we elevate our humanity before anything else.